What's up guys, welcome back to the One Auto channel. My name's Rob. Today I've got in this one here behind me. This is a BMW 320, it's a 2008. We have the yellow exclamation mark, which is the brake warning light that is on the dash. And it's got some rear pads that are low, so I'm going to change the rear pads and the disc, and I'm going to take you along for the ride. Okay, first thing we need to do, take off your trim. There's your brake reservoir. Just unspin that, just to let the fluid come back up into the reservoir when we push the pistons back. Right, car's already jacked up, let's get this wheel off. Now to save my old knees on this hard garage floor, pick myself up this Laser Tools Racing laying down mat with a headrest. Ideal bit of kit to save my old knees. You can fold it up like that, put it down, and sit down on it. Oh, comfy. So I've done the other side already. Save the driver's side just to video for you, because this is the side that's got the wear sensor that's sitting just there. The wiring goes up around the little rubber cover for the bleed nipple that holds it down. So just take that off there. And there's several clips that run up this top arm around the back of the spring, and then they're coming right over to here, where we can take off this trim panel here with a couple of little bolts there, get up there, and we can disconnect that in just a moment when we put the new one back in. So for the time being, first thing I want to do is just lever this one out of here. Here the wiggle, out it comes, and you can see when you compare to the new one that that's worn down quite a bit there, just on that edge. That should have like a little triangle hump on there, so it starts to wear down, the light goes yellow. When you get further down, I think the light goes red and says, whoa boy, you need some brakes. So let's get that out of the way for now, put that there, and then we have to undo these bolts at the back here. We've got one there to get this caliper off. Now I've got these really slim, you can see how thin they are, really slim spanners, ideal for the job. So that's a 15mm, that can go on there. And then we have, is it 13? Yeah, 13mm socket on my ratchet. I'll get that onto the back of that bolt there. Loosen that one off, and then the same with the one below. One out. There's the other one out. And this is just your conventional caliper. No handbrake mechanism on this caliper, because your handbrake shoes are inside this disc here. There we are. We'll give that a good clean up. You see how far the pistons come out anyway. That needs pushing back. Right, let's find something just to tie this up and out of the way first. Okay, that's secured with a bit of lock wire now. And that's just a case of getting these pads out. There's one. At least they're not stuck in there. And there's the other one. So as you can see, got the money's worth out of them ones. Got quite a big lip, that's why we're changing the rotors on these. Okay, next thing, we have at the back here, we've got we've got two 16mm bolts that hold this carrier on. We need to get that carrier off and then continue getting this disc off. So I suppose you can use a 16mm spanner and swing on it, or a 16mm socket with an extension. I've got the impact gun, so I'm going to crawl underneath and put them on and whiz them off. Just pop that one back in, a couple of turns just while I undo the top one, so the carrier don't fling around. Go. Lovely jubbly. Right, so take the last one out. There we are, carrier's out the way. We've got this hardware on there. The new pads do come with the new hardware, so we'll give this all a clean up and fit the new hardware in a bit. Pop them down there, and then we have a disc retaining bolt just there. Now this is a little Allen key. What size is this? 6mm. It's got it on impact. Get it in there. Let's give that a little tap-a-doo-dah. Let's see the wide in. Still tight. Pretty tight. Right, mind your ears, folks. We'll give the disc a bit of a smack just to free up some corrosion. That's better, there you go. The old whacking stick does it every time. Right, so you could just start taking your disc off now, but you will find probably your handbrake shoes may have worn a lip on the inside of this disc. So what we've got to try and do now is we'll locate the adjuster inside. We can get, I've got an old Sparky's flat screwdriver here. We can just put that in and we can notch back the adjuster, back it right off so it's all free, and then we can give it a few smacks and pull it off. Okay, so if you move your hole where your wheel bolt goes through, it's normally at this sort of, what's that, 11 o'clock, whichever way you're on it, whichever wheel you're on. You can get your torch, shine it through, you can just see like a little cog. So we want to be winding that one in. So, give it a whiz. So I'll just put it in, ratcheting it up one at a time. I'll show you when the brake disc is off. And then this disc will come freer and freer as the handbrake shoes wind themselves in. And just keep doing that until it stops, essentially. Obviously make sure you're not going the right way. Make sure you are going the right way. And you're not exposing more thread. I can see this is winding in. That's it, I can't go any more, so that's backed all the way off. Right, now for a few little love taps, because that's not wanting to come off just yet. If you've got a big nasty impact, you can usually put it on there, just give it loads of what do you call it, vibrations. There we go. Now it's popped. Okay, let's take that off. What we got in there? There we go. This is where your parking brake shoes run on the inside. So we have got a decent old lip, so that was probably just holding that on. That's why we wind off the little adjuster and wind them in. I'll get you a closer look at that adjuster. First of all, we'll give it a dousing in the old brake cleaner. Get rid of all that dust. Still got Durid BMW pads We've got Jurid BMW shoes here, I can see it, and so they've probably been replaced before. Lovely. So there you can see, there's the little wheel that we were winding back, and then when we put the rotor back on, we turn the wheel the other way, and that just brings that bit out, and it basically just opens up the gap of these parking brake shoes so they touch the inside of the brake disc. So we're all good there. I'm just going to wire brush all this up, put just a light smear in the grease, so the next time we do these they're going to come off okay, and then we'll move on to cleaning up the carrier. So we want to be getting rid of all that corrosion, all in there, get rid of all the high spot. I think this has been well looked after, this one, because there's not much, to be fair, there's not much there. I've lost my little paintbrush I had in this temperature grease here, so I've just used a tissue, we'll just, that should do all we need round there. Obviously the wheel mounts on there as well, so aids with wheel removal as well, so the alley wheels don't stick onto the hub here. There we go. Well, rookie error, I just realised I didn't have my lav mic plugged into the camera. Never mind, I'm not going to change that now. So we have now to change over and clean up all this pad carrier here. We've got to get this hardware out. New brake pads come with some in. These are just padded ones that I picked up from Euros. So just a case of getting your screwdriver under there, popping them out, one like that, and then again. One like that. Shut that down there. Put that in my container, collect a bit of dust. And you just want to be clearing out where the ears of the pads sit. Okay, next thing, what I like to do, I've got myself a flat file. This is a nice triangle shape, fits perfectly in these bits here. I'm not saying file it all away, just file it down so any corrosion, any build up of dust you can't get. You just want to get it nice and flat and even on the bottom face and then on the sides as well. You want to get this out because any dust that builds up under here and then under this hardware shim can create quite a squeal sometimes. Okay, that's good enough. Next, we want to keep these sliders free, just here and here, just to make sure while it's out. I mean, they are free. Just give it a twist, hold on to the rubber, pop the top one out. Give that a wipe. I've got a bit of silicone grease here, or we can even use a bit of the old plasti lube stuff, which is ideal for brakes, high temperatures. Get that little greasing on there, that's all you need, and just pop it down inside like that. Do the other one, wipe that dark stuff off there. Give it a little bit of fresh. Lovely. And that clicks back in there. Right, so this stuff as well, you want a little bit, you can use high temperature grease, copper grease, silver grease, whatever you got. Just a little smear at the bottom, and again on the other side. Get the sides as well. Okay, super. New hardware kit, pops in that way round, get them a line and then they just ping down onto it. So that's one. There we go. That's it. That is one caliper carrier, new hardware, all cleaned up underneath, greased. All we need to do now is grease these, slide the pads in, it's ready to fit back into the disc. Right, so we'll get some in there. Okay, so we can pop these pads in now. Try not to get greasy hands on the surface. You may get a little bit. If you get excessive, wipe it off. Don't worry about any little tiny bits. Grease that ear there. So that's going to go that way around on the inside. So this one, if I do that one, that's going to be the back. So the caliper like ear bits will come over and they cover around about there. You can look at an old brake pad to see the pattern where it is. Always put a little smear on the back. That's one ready to go back in. And the last one. Like that, and this one's the piston side, so we'll do a nice big circle for a piston there. Okay. Right, swap my greasy gloves out. Right, let's get these pads in. Let's stick the bottom one in there. We'll go from the inside. Pop that one in there. There we are. So we can get that all ready to go on. And then the other pad. Whoops, that one's falling out. Get the other pad. There we go, ready to install. So now we have to put the disc back on. We've got the brand new ones here. These are all painted, and so we don't need to degrease them. And as you can see from the inside of here, there's no lip there. That's all lovely where the parking brake shoe is going to run. Then we've got to obviously align the hole for the retaining screw. So let's get that at the top, just there. We'll get it lined up. There you go. That's sat back there nicely. There we are. Give it a little zip. That's that. And you can hear that the shoes are not touching that. So we've got to get that so that essentially got to wind out that adjuster so it's about to lock it off, and probably go back a couple of clicks. We'll try that first of all. There is another way you can do it where you can put the actual handbrake in the car on maybe 2 clicks, get it so this locks and then let the handbrake off. Is another technique that I've seen used. Either way seems to work. Right, let's get this ratcheted back up now. Yeah, it is locked. If I come back, let's go back 3 clicks. Probably a little bit more. You get used to the feel of these, to be fair. I'll go off. Come off one more. Missed. There we go. That should do it. And then what I do then, I just give it a couple of gentle love taps on the front just to sort of settle them down, just like that. And then just make sure we're not over locked up or we've gone too loose. That feels good. So I'm going to try the travel of the parking brake now. 4, 5 clicks. Feels good, it's actually tighter than what it was, so we'll let that off. Just check the side I've done already. That still feels good. We'll just check this side again. That feels a little bit loose than the other side. I'm probably going to go on one more click this side. There, okay. Then of course with the handbrake on, just make sure you are locked. Okay, now we can put this carrier with the pads in it back on. Where's the other bolt? Got one bolt, oh there's the other bolt. So put that between there. That started, yeah, that started. That's the top one gone. Can't really see what I'm doing, going blind. There we go, that one's gone in. That's great. Right, I'm going to go back underneath, get them whizzed up. Oh, I can't be bothered. Let's do it with the ratchet spanner for now. And then we'll give them a blast with the old windy. Or not windy as it is. Set that the right way, that'll help. It's nearly all the way in. That one's nearly all the way in by hand anyway. Right, give them a blast. Ah, that's tight. Click, click. And click, click. Next thing I'm going to do is get this old wear sensor out of the way. So they just unclip here. There's some little plastic clips. I can't really show you because I'm having a job to see myself, to be honest. There we go, come on. There we go. That one, prise that out. There's one there. There's another one there. Get this flat screwdriver in here. That's that one out. And one's for the ABS sensor and then one is for the wear sensor. That's it, that's out. Okay, so let's go around the back of the spring and up over the top of the anti-roll bar. So remember the routing. And then pull it out, and then we've got to undo then. There's some 8mm, 1, 2, 3. You might have to undo this little plastic 10. There's a plastic 10 up there as well. And we'll get this out the way. Okay. So you get covered in crap. What have we got? Oh, I've got one more under there, I forgot about. That's it, right. Okay, try and work around the camera. Pop that out, and then you've got a couple of, is a one, yeah, just a one press tab. Can't really see it. Just there, there's one press tab that you have to push in to release it. See if I can do it one-handed. Push it in, pull it apart. No, I have to use two hands. There we are. So that's the old one away. I've got the new one here. Let's see if I can show you the new one where it goes in the brake pad by at this stage. If you can see, it's got this triangle shaped pimple on the end as opposed to the old one. The old one, you can see, as I showed you earlier, has worn away flat just there. Next up, get this new one plugged back in. Will only fit one way. Turn it around. There we go. Clips in. That clips in there. The rubber grommet slips in the bottom just there. Right, I've got that sensor wire all rerouted back through its clips. One thing I just realised as I was putting the cover back on is that the actual little box where the two plugs for the ABS sensor and the wear sensor sit in, the cover was missing. That's obviously been there before. I can't put it back. As you can see, it's all enclosed in there. You're unlucky if you get any water in there. I can't do anything about it right now anyway, and I'm not too worried about it, to be fair. So my next thing I've got to do is just get this piston pushed back in, give the caliper a clean and a bit of a grease, and we can get the caliper actually put back on. So these are just going to push straight back like a normal caliper, no having to wind back because there's no handbrake mechanism on these ones. There we are, lovely. Bit of wire brushing. And once again, just very gently on these ears with a file. Smash in nice and smooth. And we get the old plastic lube again. Just smear there. Everywhere components touch, and on the pistons as well. Okay, so next what I've got to do is get this sensor wire, and I've got to actually fit it into this brake pad here. That's going to go essentially into there like that, lock down inside it, but it's got to go through the top. So I'll just see if I can do that by putting that on first. Let's hold it in with a bolt, just temporarily. Let's keep that from moving. There you are. Right, so that goes over the top. As you saw earlier, that goes through the bleed nipple cover, which holds that in place. He says. That's got it. I can't see because the camera's in the way, so I'm just going to move you out of the way and pop that in. Okay, that's securely clipped down onto the brake pad, and it's all routed the correct way. Now I need to put the caliper bolts back in. Now with these brake pads you do get one new bolt which comes with a bit of Loctite on, if you've got a bit of Loctite. The originals do have a bit of Loctite, so I've got myself a bit here, so I'll just put a little bit on the thread and all over my trousers. Beautiful. There we go. This is the blue stuff, the removable Loctite. So we'll put that one in there. We'll put the new bolt in the bottom. They give you one bolt because when you're just doing pads you can undo one bolt and you can essentially just tilt the caliper up. Get those started. And do them up. Back with a 15. Tighten it all the way just yet. I'll get the bottom one nice and started. Right, let's tighten the top one up. And tighten them down to factory spec. Click, click. Click, click. There we go. Right, next thing, we'll pump the brake pedal out. There we go. Right, next thing, wheels back on, lower it down, put the cap back onto the reservoir and give it a road test. There we go then guys, that's the rear pads and disc done on that BMW 320. It went up the road, lovely and quiet, little orange warning light has gone out as well. So very happy with that. I'm going to leave a link in the description to the One Auto Amazon shop. In there you're going to find all the tools that I've used for this job today, and also the Laser Tools Racing Mechanics folding floor mat that has saved these old knees from this rough floor. So thanks for watching. If the video was of use though, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so and click that bell notification so you get a notification when I upload any more videos. Guys, thanks for now. Cheers.